divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us. O blood and water which flowed out from the heart of Jesus as a fountain of mercy for us, I trust in you. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Amen. Jesus, King of mercy, we trust in you.
This is DYDC-FM 104.7, your development campus radio, broadcasting from the beautiful campus of the Visayas State University, Visca, Baybay City, Leyte, Philippines.
VSU Radio, DYDC.
Si Mayor Boying Carini sa Baybay City. Para nako, DYDC FM yug ko. Kamusta ba?
Radyo kalambuan gyud na.
I was walking down the road one day. Happy people smile along the way, and the sceneries turned on my fantasy. There's a lot of opportunities that point me to who I could be. It's a life-changing university.
Ninduta gud anang imong gidrawing. Nature man na oy. May pakapin balak pa gud ay. Para asa di ay na.
Practice pa ko ani Jen. Isamit unya ni nako sa amuang eskwelahan sa kahanginan or School on the Air.
Ha? Asa man na dapita? Aw, sa DYDC-FM, katong kabahin sa School on the Air o SOA on Visual Arts para sa mga junior ug senior high school teachers ug students sa MAPE ug Special Program in the Arts sa DepEd?
Correct lagi ka Jen.
Ako pa! Tigpaminawan baya og avid fan ko sa DYDC-FM 104.7 para malang di ay na sa taga-Baybay City ug Southern Leyte Schools Divisions. Pero, pwede gihapon ng uban makapaminaw sa DYDC kung ganahan sila. Libre ra.
Lagi, swerte gud ko nga naka-appeal ko ani. Taga East West Center o EWC sa Honolulu, Hawaii, USA ang sponsor sa SOA on Visual Arts for Mental Health and Environment.
Mao ba? Gikan sa Amerika. Nahala, pag ayo-ayo migo. Tudloi unya ko sa imuha makatunan sa SOA ha. Bye.
The Visayas State University through the Department of Development Communication and DYDC-FM 104.7 in partnership with the East West Center, EWC in Honolulu, Hawaii, USA, and the 2 schools divisions of the Department of Education, DepEd, Baybay City Schools Division, Leyte, and Southern Leyte Schools Division, proudly presents
The School on the Air, or SOA on Visual Arts for Mental Health and Environment. A radio school program that will educate visual arts among teachers and students who are into music, arts, physical education and health, MAPE, and Special Program in the Arts, SPA of the DepEd as our SOA participants.
This is to improve their quality of education, create awareness, and promote mental health and well-being,
as well as environmental protection among our SOA participants.
SOA on Visual Arts for Mental Health and Environment.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Philippine Standard Time.
And now, please welcome the 2 radio hosts of this SOA program.
All right, good afternoon, participants, and welcome to another learning session of the School on the Air on Visual Arts for Mental Health and the Environment. I'm Buen Andrade.
And I'm Perlin Fernandez. Good afternoon to all of you.
Hello, Visayas State University, VSU, and to the SOA project team, the Department of Education, DepEd Baybay City, and Southern Leyte Schools Divisions, MAPE, SPA teachers and students who are our SOA participants, and to everyone tuning in over DYDC-FM 104.7 to this special radio school program today. I hope you're all doing well.
All right, Buena. So before anything else, let's first have our customary roll call. No, so ready na bang atong participants? Okay, so let's start. All right, so with the participants from Baybay City Schools Division, again, dating gawe, kindly unmute your mic and open your cameras. And of course, you'll say aloha together. Ready na ba? Okay, ready, get set, go! Aloha. Wow, nindot kay tanawon ba no, nakasmile sila. Aloha. Thank you so much. A virtual clap no for them. And now, let's have our participants naman coming from the Southern Leyte Schools Division. All right, so ready, get set, go! Ayun.
All right, thank you so much, guys, no, for the greetings, and of course, no, for sa inyohang mga pag-greet ka nato din no.
Yes.
Okay, and so good job, guys. Happy Monday. Of course, Monday na pod, no? And I hope you had a great weekend. So in the past 2 weeks, we learned all about mental health and environmental protection with Ma'am Marwen Castañeda and Ariana Luer, respectively. No? So guys, I hope you will not forget the things you have learned from those 2 modules. No? So, paspasa kaya to ang SOA. No? So we're now on the 3rd week no, of our School on the Air. So again, we encourage our participants to also share no, what they have learned to their families and friends. Share what they have what you have learned about mental health. share some art exercises that you learned from Marwen, no? Katong mga magdoodles, no? To help others in coping with their anxieties. And of course, in your own way, help protect the environment.
All right. So before we proceed, bueno, and to our participants, we would like to remind those who have not yet answered the assessments or submitted their exercises to accomplish them, no, as soon as possible, as of June buwan. So we need to stress out the importance of accomplishing the exercises and answering the quizzes for you, no, participants, to graduate in this SOA, no. So we gave you until 2 p.m. today, no, before the next start, to accomplish your exercises and quizzes for the first module with Ma'am Marwen.
All right. Okay. And hello?
Wala.
Okay.
Sorry, i-mute lang atong mga mics, no?
All right.
Okay. All right. So now that we okay na ta, and then ato nang napasabot no atong mga participants on the importance really of submitting, no, and accomplishing the tasks. So let's proceed, no, to the, or actually ato pa i-check di ay, no.
Yes, ato i-check ba kung pila pa man ang submit.
Okay, no?
Let's start with our participants from the Southern Leyte Division. Okay, so Module 2.
For Module 2, no, for the quiz on the environmental protection, we have 45 nag-turn in na and 19 ang wala
Wala pa,
no? So
no?
again, we
Okay.
kindly unmute your mic or mute your mic, please.
All right. Oo. Sa atong participants, please do mute your mic. Mabati dyan mo dire.
Anyway,
Okay.
so going back, no. So for Southern Leyte, we have 45 nag-turned in na, and then 19 pa ang yet to to submit or
So,
to answer the quiz.
Yes. This is for the Module 2, no, Environmental Protection, kang Miss Ariana Lower.
Okay.
Okay, now let's go to the Baybay City Division.
Okay, for Baybay City Division, we have 40 no who turned in and 24 ang wala pa. So that's for environmental protection quiz, no, for environmental protection. How about for the ang atong mental health, Pearl?
Okay,
let's see
so
kung na ba?
all right. So sa Module 1, Mental Health, 36 ang turned in na buwan, no? And 28 ang kinahanglan pa nga mo submit. This is from the Baybay City Division. And sa Southern Leyte naman, atong tanawon, we have here, okay, 53 na ang
Very
ni-turned
good,
in and 11 na lang. Napad yung 11 nga, wala pa nakasubmit.
Actually, of course, no, it's actually mandatory to submit all the quizzes and activities for you to graduate kay wala mo tayo NC po din, no, what incomplete.
Oo. So
again,
pass or fail lang ni buwan,
yes.
no?
And again, no, please atong hangyoon atong mga teachers to guide their students, no, in accomplishing, especially kung if there are students who have difficulties in their internet connection or connectivity.
That's
no,
right.
Please atong mga teachers, please take charge and help them.
Yes. We also acknowledge the presence of our resource persons. Na sila tulong karon, no? We have Sir Jude Noni Salas. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Ma'am Ariana Lower and si Ma'am
Marwin Castaneda. Good afternoon.
Okay.
All right.
So now that we have got that out of the way, let us proceed to the third module of this School on the Air, to be given to us by our resource person, Professor Jude Noni Salas. So our module for this week, no, is all about visualizing drawings. So we will focus more on the visual arts side, no, of our SOA. Okay. And before spending any time, no, on the detail, color, tone, or texture, it is essential that you establish the correct shape and proportion of your subject in relation to its surroundings. So this will provide you the proper foundation on which to build your art. So if this stage is overlooked, the completed work is unlikely to look quite as it should. No?
And furthermore, trying to remedy any faults later on will almost certainly cause unnecessary complications and make the whole drawing process far more difficult to master. Visualizing words into pictures is a challenge for most people. The school and the workplace are filled with word-driven ways of communicating concepts.
Juxtaposing and visualizing abstract words and concepts into pictures is a way to facilitate better understanding between people, especially to those who are not literate about the language in the form of written words.
So in today's lesson in visualizing drawings, Sir Jude will teach us how to draw trees with just the basic shapes one, no? And of course our participants. So guys, get yourselves comfortable now, listen to it, and make sure to take down notes, no? And enjoy the first learning session of Module 3, Visualizing Drawings, Drawing a Tree with Basic Shapes, to be presented by our subject matter expert, Professor Jude Noni Salas.
And again, we'd like to remind everyone to put their microphones on mute while the lesson is still going on. Okay, so here it is, guys.
Oh, hi there. Do you see the tree over there? That is a bitaog or palomaria tree. It's a tree with so many shapes. Hi, this is Jude Nonisales, your resource speaker for this afternoon's Module 3 on visualizing drawing. Our first lesson is about how to draw trees with shapes. Okay? Here on Earth, there are three basic shapes that we can use in drawing objects. One is the circle, second is the square, and third is the triangle. I will show you later a demonstration of how we can do this. We all know that trees are very important for producing oxygen. They're also important storage of carbon dioxide. And they also help relax ourselves and relieve us from stress because of their cool shade. So later on, when we'll go back to our studio, I'll show you how this tree is drawn. Drawing a tree is a daunting task for most people, even for experienced artists. The lack of understanding about the tree structure poses a challenge. To help you draw a tree better, I'm going to share to you 6 techniques in drawing basic shapes. The first technique is structuration. Understanding the basic structure of objects and their relation to space is the first step in gaining confidence on how to draw anything. Shapes of objects basically takes the shape of the circle, square, or triangle. Structuring involves knowing how to use the basic shape as reference in outlining objects and how they appear in a particular position in a space. Thus, a little knowledge on drawing, outlines, and perspective is important. The shape of a tree canopy and trunk can easily be executed if you know the technique of structuring. Second technique is manipulation. Manipulation of shapes will give you the freedom to stretch, compress, or modify the basic shapes. This is especially valuable when you are dealing with a natural object like a trunk or branch of a tree. The third technique is observation. People ask themselves why they can't draw. They can't because they do not allow themselves to see like an artist. Artists see things through relationships of outlines, shapes, texture, value, and color. To develop or improve your observation skills, you have to learn not only by looking but by seeing. Seeing is trying to understand the relationship of the parts of what you are seeing and also understanding how they work together. Looking is merely judging the object's surface value without analyzing its characteristics. Thus, effective observation involves effective seeing like an artist. By observing the characteristics between two different species of trees, you will be able to convincingly draw them. The fourth technique is education. Learning from experience is not enough if you do not study and research about the things that interest you. Then you won't excel in what you do. Drawing is not only a single skill but of several. You cannot draw everything. You have to develop your skill in searching for more knowledge by educating yourself. With education, you will gain more confidence in trying to understand the things that interest you. Educate yourself with books, experts, or artists whom you admire. The fifth technique is imitation. Every artist strives to come up with his or her own style. Usually it takes years of hard work, but you can shorten that by taking inspiration from the works of other artists who have already developed their own signature style. And the sixth technique is imagination. This is the amalgamation of the other 5 techniques that I shared to you today. Imagination allows you to come up with your own style, whether you have a reference to copy or not. I'm also encouraging you to post your photos and videos on our FB group by using hashtag SOA Visual Arts. That's all for today. Thank you. And I will now welcome your questions and clarifications for this lesson.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. Lesson 1 of Module 3 on visualizing drawing.
And as always, we would like you to keep in touch with us on our official Facebook group, no, by posting some photos and stories related to the SOA, no. And please be reminded that you only submit pre-test, post-test quizzes, pictures of your drawings, and poetry plus the resource person's evaluations on the Google Classroom. All questions and comments, kindly post it on our FB group, no. So at this point, let us have with us our subject matter expert, Sir Jude, for the assignment, no. All right, Sir Jude.
Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my demonstration. We will be posting your assignment for this lesson in Google Classroom, and there are 2 activities that you'll be accomplishing in that assignment, and then you just wait for the notification for your Google Classroom. Okay, so I did not include in my presentation the description of the assignment, but anyway, in the Google Classroom, there is a detailed procedure there that I have included for you to follow for your assignment. So if you have any questions with regards to the lesson this afternoon, any clarification on the methods or techniques that I've presented. So I hope some of the students, especially those who are really interested to know some of the different drawing techniques, as well as their teachers, would like to integrate those basic techniques that I presented a while ago. I'll be very happy if you can inquire or ask questions about it.
Okay. So right now, no. Our format will be same, no, as in the other weeks. We'll be asking, or actually, we'll be calling out 2 participants from Baybay City Division, and also 2 from Southern Latest.
1 teacher and 1 student.
Yeah, 1 teacher, 1 student. So same format gihapon, guys. So let's start off with Baybay City Division, no? If we can have a teacher and then a student. So siguro teacher sa, no? So now's the opportunity for you guys to ask questions directly, no, to our resource person, Sir Jude. Okay, anyone from Baybay City Division?
Okay, we can start sa teacher siguro sa buwan,
Yes.
no?
All right. And if you're shy, you can also just type in at our
Chat
comment
box.
section or chat box, no? If you're shy.
We have a message here, coming from the Southern Leyte Schools Division. Thank you, Sir Jude. Very clear and interesting.
All right.
Wow. Feedback.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, how about a question from a teacher from the Baybay City Division?
Okay.
Nga na ba? Or kung naa na student na gusto mong utana, we can have you, no? Okay, so we have here a question. Yes, from the Southern Leyte Division.
All right.
Okay, so ingon si Jay in Fortuna. Good noon, sir. Are we going to draw with the use of shapes, or we can directly draw a realistic tree? Okay.
Okay, that's the most common problem for most of art students. Um, Trying to push yourself to draw something realistic immediately. Okay, that kind of mentality should be changed by you. Okay, that is the most common problem among students in art, trying to strive to draw realistically without trying to experiment first on shapes. Okay, first and foremost, the problem with most artists, even with beginners or experienced artists, is that you use your head more than your eyes when you draw. That's why you always tell yourself, can I draw realistically? Okay, that's the most common problem. You strive to draw realistically, and yet when you draw, you cannot achieve the kind of realism that you want to achieve. Because when you want to become a successful artist, don't use your mind when you paint. You use your eyes. Because if you use your mind, you will be biased about the things that you are seeing. Okay? So this lesson is actually trying to free you from that mentality. No, when we try to paint using with our eyes, we are more relaxed. No, we are not hampered by any pressure because there is no academic or anything that will try to bother us. So because if you think with your mind, when you draw with your mind, we tend to think stereotypically. What do you mean by being stereotypical? Kung akong Bisayon ka na bang dapat ang dahon oblong, dapat ang purma sa veins ingon ani, dapat ingon ani ang purma sa bark, dapat ingon ani ang purma sa branch. And if you notice in my demonstration, I've shown you how to create a tree na using cylinders, using circles, and using cubes. So eventually, if you try to use those kind of techniques, you will be more creative in forming your tree, no? So unless moingon ka nga, sir, gusto man ko nga mahimong botanical artist. As a botanical artist, you are required to really draw the details. But all botanical artists, because botanical artists themselves, niagi man na sila kuan gyud basic nga paghimo sa objects using shapes. Because if you try to use shapes before you attempt to draw something realistically, your hand will be trained as well as free your mind from the biases. No, your hand will be trained to properly proportion and to properly apply perspective. And then if you notice, kung mo attempt ka diretso og execute sa usa ka object realistically, there is a tendency nga you will be stumped. No, when you say stump, moabot ang panahon nga dili nakakabalo kung unsaon paghimog something very creative, because you have already set your personal standards na nakay biased sa imong hunahuna nga standards. Sa mo bitaw na nga, I always advise my art students nga use your right brain when you draw. You close your left brain. Kaya ang left brain man good para maguna siya sa letters of words. No? Para na siya sa letters of words. So if we try to close the right brain and open we try to close the other side of our brain for words and text and everything that tries to cause bias, mas libre ta nga mo gamit sa atong mga imagination. No, so this lesson is actually trying to teach you how to use your imagination as well as using shapes para ma-free ang imong kaugalingon sa biases. And we are here to appreciate the power of being creative in order nga ma-present nato ang atong natural environment aron ma-release nato atong mga stress. So instead nga instead nga mag-strive ta to really draw realistically, even if we're still learning how to draw, imbis nga ma-relax ka, o imbis ma-relax ka and appreciate art better, mas stress na hinon ka kay dili ka kakuha sa realistic nga object nga gusto nimong ma-achieve. And enjoyment about art flies out of the air. So mo na siya ha, advice na ko students, don't obligate yourself to draw realistically without trying to appreciate the power of the use of shapes as well as the other elements like imitation, education, and also as well as imagination, which is very important. I think I have answered your question.
All right, thank
Okay,
you so
thank you,
much,
Sir Jude.
Sir Jude, and also thank you to the one who asked that question. No, so I think we started the ball rolling. Now, no, we have a question, and any other questions that you want to ask to Sir Jude? No.
Yes. So we have another question here from Bye Bye City Division 1.
All right.
Okay, good day, sir. Are these techniques can be applied to other subjects like animals?
Yes. For the purpose of being with the theme of our SOA, I used the subject of a tree as a subject matter or a theme for my presentation. But you can use basic shapes to other objects, animals, portraits, buildings, or food, or whatever interests you, di ba? Sa akong gi-lecture, sa akong gi-present nga you can actually focus on things that interest you through education. So if you have already acquired the skill to manipulate, to change the structure, familiarize yourself with how to modify shapes, then anything that you can see under the sun, you can use it. No, so and this topic is very valuable with portraiture. No, so just like going back to the first question, kana ingon ta nga realistic kaayo, maproblema gyud mo kung moadto na mo portraiture if you think of the face of a human as a face of a human being. Mabitaw na nga, every time mag-advise ko sa akong students, look at a face that you want to make a portrait of, not a face of a human being, but think of the face as a surface. Hunahunaan ang nawong, usa ka object nga naay mga lubak-lubak, naay mga nag-sink, naay nag-rise nga mga surfaces. Kay kung imo na hunahunaon nga ang nawong nga imong i-portrait is a face of a person and not an object nga murag first time pa nimo nakit-an, ang resultaan na mag-create kag bias mo niya magunahuna ka nga ang usa ka nawong in order to be qualified as a successful portrait should be perfect. And we have to always remember nga ang nawong sa tao mismo nay daghang imperfections. And then if you study the face of a person like any ordinary object that you paint or draw, mas dili ka biased, no? So you have to remember ha nga ang nawong sa tao though perfectly paired, na ay mata sa left, na ay mata sa right, na ay lip sa ubos, na ay lip sa taas, na ay bangag sa ilong sa left, na ay sa right, pero kung imo nang tan-awon og maayo ang if you study your objects carefully, ang usabaya ka mata nato mas gamay kaysa pikas, no? Or ang atong lip sa ubos mas nipis, mas baga kaysa ibabaw. No, so there are things that we really need to ponder nga imbis nga mutan-aw lang ta sa usa ka object sa surface level, we have to look at objects by seeing, by trying to analyze how things really look like through our eyes, not through our minds. Kaya kung mugamit nga sa atong mind, if we use our mind, we will be biased. And we always think of what is ideal to draw. And eventually the result is we fail because we did not try to see, but instead we just try to look. Okay?
All right, thank you so much,
Miss
Sir
Donalyn,
Jude.
and of course, Miss Donalyn Tautau from BC SHS, Bible City.
All right. So actually, guys, no, in case you missed it, pod, if you don't have the kanang kuan siguro no internet connection to click on the assignments Google Classroom, actually posted no the learning activity module 3 lesson 1 learning activity sa atong Facebook group, no? So you can see there unsa ang activity nga imong atong buhaton, no, for this lesson, no? So naa nga to ang mga materials and of course the procedure, no?
And of course, it is already posted in
Yeah.
Google Classroom.
Posted in Google Classroom, also posted it sa atong Facebook group.
Facebook group. Okay, so
I think one more question na lang, no?
so nainiingon din no. Thank you, sir. Nasabtan gajud.
Right?
Wow.
Any other questions? I think last question na lang, no?
Last question.
So wala na. Magkuha lang po sir kung mag-ask ko question ni Sir Jude, no? You mentioned, Sir Jude, about artist's eye, no? So how can we possess an artist's eye, and what is it, no? What do we need, no, for us to have that artist's eye?
Who asked that question, Gwen?
Ako lang
Sir
ang utana.
Gwen.
Ako may nangutana lang.
Naman to'y nagtingog kanina, kaysa man to.
It's me, sir. Jimena
Okay.
Uba from Southern Lake.
Okay.
I would like to ask if can we use all basic shapes in doing an artwork, or can we only use one?
I'm encouraging you to use all the basic shapes: circle, square, and triangle. You can experiment by combining the three, or you may start by using only one. No? So what you will do is that prior to the submission of your assignment, or prior to making your assignment, it is best that you experiment first, have a feel of the techniques, di ba? In my demonstration, I've only shown you the use of the cylinder for the first drawing of the tree, and then I executed again another sample of a drawing using spheres or circles to execute the tree, and the third one is the use of cubes to execute the tree. I did not include anymore the use of the triangle because the square, the cube, and the triangle effect is quite the same. Huh? The corners are some sort of angular, but try to experiment by combining the three different shapes, and that is actually a challenge for you because I did not introduce that one in my demonstration. So I don't want to spoon feed students creativity in my demonstration. That's why I intentionally did not include a triangle or a combination of the three different shapes in my demo. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. And for the question of Sir Gwen, the artist's eye, how to use the artist's eye. Okay, so Sir Gwen, can you repeat your question for me?
All right. So yeah, again, no, you mentioned about the artist's eye. So maybe I'll ask this question on behalf siguro sa atong mga students. No, so how can we process an artist's eye, and what do we need to do to have that artist's eye?
Okay, to develop your artist's eye, first and foremost, an artist should be very observant. No. An artist should not limit himself or herself to the beautiful things that they paint. Okay, for example, you're walking down the street, and when you were not oriented yet with this workshop or with this SOA, you just don't care about the grasses or the leaves that you see beside the street. But once you will be trained as an artist, try to study, try to stop, pick up a weed, you pick up, punit kag sagbot, tanaw nimo ang bulak sa sagbot, unsay porma sa sagbot, unsa bay mga basic shapes ana nga sagbot, and then you bring that weed with you, you bring the sagbot with you at home, and then when you reach your house, you try to copy, you try to draw that grass or that flower of the grass in your sketchbook, and you will discover a lot of things, no? Or the usual thing that we do is mutanaw tag kahoy, pero naabay uban nato nga pagtanaw sa kahoy atong kuhanog picture ang kahoy, pagkahuman muduol ta sa kahoy, hikapon nato ang kahoy, tanaw nato ang bark, muhangad ta didto sa ibabaw, tanaw nato ang pattern sa mga branches, diba? So these are the things that is very important to develop an artist eye, which is what we call as observation. And second, we need to research and read a lot. No, so you cannot just get your art education from your classroom, from your teacher, from me. After this SOA, you will get more valuable inputs from other sources. No, so you read books, you watch YouTube videos. I'm not preventing you from watching YouTube videos. You participate in other art workshops to further improve your skill and talent as well as know-how. So the more you use your hands, the more you use your eyes, and the more you use your analytical thinking in trying to attack your subjects. Diba? Usually, I coach students nga mo appeal og mga regional contest or mga division nga mga festival of talents. I always tell my students, try to attack your subject with aggressiveness. No? Ayaw paluya-luya. Try to attack your subject with a very competitive mind. No? Kanabang di lang ka makontento nga maulang nang makaya nimo. Try to go out of your comfort zone. Try to look at other possibilities that you can make your work unique than the others. So yung mao ganang sekreto to develop the artist eye. And automatic na siya. You will only feel, you will only sense that you have improved, or your teachers or classmates will tell you, hey, you have really improved, or your work is really good. Okay, so that's the only way. So don't settle for less. Don't just depend on your class. Don't depend on what you initially know, but explore more, and you will develop that artist eye that you want to achieve.
All right, thank you so much, Sir Jude, no, for that for a very nice answer. Also, siguro no, after this learning session, maybe you can also try to look at the outside environment, and then with visualization, no, try to check, no, try to see if when you're looking at a tree, how can you structure it, no, using the basic shapes, for example, no. With that, no, you can visualize, no, on if you will draw it on your brain, no, makaingon jud ka nga, this is made up of or circles or triangles or rectangles, no. So yun ana pod.
Okay.
All right, so I think muna to siya ato ang mga questions. So I think thank you so much, Sir
Thank you,
Jude.
Sir
And again,
Jude.
we encourage our students, no, to post their exercises sa atong Google Classroom and also share it sa atong Facebook, no.
And if you still have questions, you can also post it sa
Atong FB group.
FB group.
All right.
All right. Again, thank you guys for your questions. So that will be our format now in the succeeding learning sessions. Our participants will have to ask questions, and our resource person will answer those questions. So actually, this is also an opportunity, not to further discuss the topic and in turn make the lesson even more understandable and meaningful. Before we end our session, please be reminded to log on to your Zoom sessions ahead of time, starting 2:30 or 2:45 p.m. so you will not be late in our class at 3 p.m.
All right, so see you guys on our next lesson of Module 3 on Wednesday. That's July 28, no, 2021 at exactly 3 in the afternoon, Philippine Standard Time. So that wraps up our session for today for our School on the Air on Visual Arts. I am Buen Andrade.
And I'm Perlin Fernandez. See you then, only here at DWDC FM 104.7. Thank you, aloha, and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.